Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here. I know it has been a very long time since I have posted on this channel. Long enough for YouTube to send me an email saying, hey, it's been 78 days since you last posted a video. Why not get some ideas and post to your subscribers, or whatever the email said. I'm sure you all get it. I'm a new mom. It has been insane. And I did want to talk more about what I experienced postpartum, because I feel like it is something that is not talked about a whole heck of a lot. And it's something that you really don't know how it's going to play out for you until you experience it yourself. Some people have a very good experience postpartum, and some people have an awful, terrible experience postpartum. I would say that I fall probably somewhere in the middle of that. So I'm going to talk about how I'm doing physically and how I am doing mentally now that I am 5 months postpartum, which is also kind of insane that it's been 5 months since I gave birth. If you did not watch my birth story, I will give a quick recap. It all happened really fast. It was very chaotic. She came 3 weeks early, very suddenly, and she had some time in the NICU. I had an unplanned C-section, and she was in the NICU for 5 days. So physically, how I felt right after the birth, obviously I was very numb from the waist down for, I would say, the first 24 hours. But then once 24 hours had passed, that's when the pain really started to kick in. I had a lot of pain at my incision site. I would say the pain lasted probably just under 2 weeks before it started feeling bearable. I had so much trouble moving around, getting out of bed, pretty much doing anything. I was pretty much bedbound. But I couldn't be because I had a baby to take care of and my husband was at work. So I was by myself from the get-go, like right out of the hospital. I did have some bleeding down there, but it wasn't as much as it would have been if I had a vaginal birth. It only lasted for, I think, a total of 3 weeks that I had bleeding. And it was really only the first week that it was a lot. And the last 2 weeks were just like a normal period. I also experienced postpartum hair loss. It was pretty bad, I would say, the past month. I had like clumps of hair coming out. Like I would just like lightly put my hand through my hair and I would get clumps of hair. It has gotten better. I would say around the 3 to 4 month mark was when it was at its worst. And especially taking a shower, I would have so much hair falling out. As far as my physical body, it is definitely very different. I myself don't feel different, but I saw myself dancing in a video recently and I was like, whoa, I look completely different. Like, I almost couldn't tell. If I didn't know, I wouldn't have been able to tell from the back side that it was me. To give some perspective, I was a size 4 in pants pre-pregnancy, and I went up to a size 8, and even some 8s are pretty snug on me. And then as far as my bra size, I went from a 34B up to a 38D. I really did not get any stretch marks, which was pretty awesome. The only stretch marks I have are like up top where my breasts are, because obviously these got a lot bigger, so I did get some stretch marks up there, but they're very light, and other than that, I didn't have any other areas where I had stretch marks. I have a little bit of extra like pudge on my belly, but it's not like a crazy amount. I'm currently 12 pounds over my pre-pregnancy weight, and I lost most of that within like the first couple of weeks, and I've just kind of stayed at that weight since then. I haven't really been doing like a ton of insane exercise. I've done like some movement every day, walking, pretty light dancing, but nothing too crazy. Now let's talk about the mental side of postpartum, because that is a roller coaster in itself. I was more likely to get postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression because I already had regular anxiety and regular depression. So in the hospital, I was definitely on their radar as far as keeping an eye on my mental state. And it was a whole thing with like a psych eval and everything. I explained a lot more about what happened in my birth story, but they were really concerned about my mental health, and, you know, they had their rights to be concerned about me. I definitely had a lot more postpartum anxiety immediately following the birth. I was very nervous about everything that I did, and I was just hyper focused on her and making sure that everything was being done right and that she was eating enough and that she was getting enough sleep. And, you know, I was very hyper focused on all of that. And it was probably part of it was because of my anxiety that I deal with normally, but also I think because she was so small when she was born, her weight was a big stressor, and she didn't gain weight right away. So we were constantly seeing lactation consultants, doctors, to make sure that she was gaining weight. And that was something that contributed to the postpartum anxiety. As she got older, that part of it went away as I got more comfortable taking care of her. Now I have a lot more of the postpartum depression side, and it comes in waves, I would say. Like, today has been a great day. Yesterday was a terrible day for postpartum depression. I just, like, sometimes I just feel like I don't want to be a mom anymore, that I ruined my life. I get filled with a ton of regret, wishing that I could go back in time and not get pregnant. It definitely hit me hard, and I don't think I expected it to hit me as hard as it did. And as far as Dan goes, it hit him pretty hard as well, mentally. I think he had more depression than he thought he was going to have. He said that he really was not prepared for how much of a toll it was going to take on him mentally. And it has caused some difficulties in our relationship, as, you know, having a new child is such a big change. It's going to cause some hardships. I'm not going to go too in detail as far as all of that, but what I am going to say is that I have been in therapy since like a week postpartum. I had started therapy, and we have also started couples therapy to try to work through this new chapter of our life. So yeah, that was a lot to unpack. So that has basically been what's been happening in my life. It has been a roller coaster, and time has just gone by just like that. I'm really proud of myself for getting in front of the camera again, because I was also dealing with a lot of anxiety of getting in front of the camera again, because I had been gone from YouTube for so long, I had so many different ideas come and go, and then when I had a video all planned out, sitting in front of the camera and talking was such a big struggle for me. I either did not have the time, obviously because my baby needed me and I needed to take care of her, or when she was occupied and I was caught up with everything, I just mentally couldn't do it. Like, I just could not sit in front of the camera and talk. I was just so anxious about it. I am glad that I made this step to get back in front of the camera and slowly get myself back into YouTube, because I do love it. I truly love creating videos, and I have lots of different ideas. It's just a matter of finding the time to post and being in that mental headspace to sit down and film a video for you guys. So I think that's going to be it for now. Thank you guys for sticking with me through all of this. If you are not subscribed to my channel, be sure you are, so that way you don't miss any new videos from me. And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!